Hey guys, what's going on? Steve here with Rake and Profit, and in today's video I wanted to talk about hiring, working with, and managing virtual assistants in your Amazon business. If it wasn't for virtual assistants working in my business, I would be making much less YouTube videos. I would have much less time to focus on losing weight and trying to get jacked and shredded, down 55 pounds. Still got a long way to go. I'd have a lot less time spending with my family, my friends, having fun, investing in, different businesses, running my software company, Replaying Catcher. Virtual assistants are really, really great because they can free up your time, right? Because think about it. Look at your business, okay? Your business, the goal of it is to obviously make money. How do you make money in your business? Well, with an Amazon business, you have to bring products to the market. The more products that you sell, the more money you make. The higher quality products you sell and, the less expensive you could buy them, right? The bigger the margin, the more profit you make, right? We all know it's not just about selling stuff, it's selling more stuff, it's selling quality stuff. And virtual assistants have really, really helped me out with that. Now, I'm not sure if anyone here is going to Books and Beyond, which is an Amazon conference that I'm hosting with my good friend Avery, Joji, Victor. We've got a bunch of people going. I've got a presentation where I'm gonna dive a lot deeper into this topic and how I literally went from thrifting for 6 years, from 2015 to 2021, to then pretty much going from $3,000 to $5,000 a month profit to now $10,000 to $15,000 a month profit with eBay to Amazon. So I've got a presentation talking about how I transitioned after I got in a car accident, how I went from thrifting to eBay to Amazon, which is much more scalable, to hiring virtual assistants, to outsourcing my business, to just having a lot more freedom and having my money work for me, okay? But I kind of want to touch on this a little bit, okay? So number one, you have to think about hiring virtual assistants as a muscle, right? I've got little muscles. I'm trying to build my muscles up. When I go to the gym and I go to bench press, I might have 100 pounds on the bar, right? Because I still got little muscles, right? I'm trying to build them up, right? I'm not gonna put 500 pounds on the bench press. Why? I haven't been training for 10 years. Similarly, right, to if you're gonna hire virtual assistants in your business, you're not gonna just hire 5 virtual assistants right out the gate, full-time, outsource everything, outsource the most critical parts of the business, right? Because there's a lot of different parts of our business, right? There's sourcing, there's listing, there's shipping, there's repricing, there's high pricing errors, there's stranded inventory, there's opening cases, there's getting ungated, there's account health issues. Our business is made up of a whole bunch of different moving parts. So back to the working out example, I'm not gonna go into the gym as somewhat of a beginner intermediate and put 400 pounds on the bar. You're not going to go out and just outsource everything in your business. So if you think about it as like working out and hiring a virtual assistant, one of the best pieces of advice that I could give is to write down all the different tasks in your business and find maybe something that you're spending 5 hours per week on. Maybe it's something that's not super critical. Maybe it's 5-10 hours a week, maybe repricing. And I know everything is critical to an extent, but there's certain things that are more important, less important. There's certain things that are a little easier to train versus other things. Like it's easier to train somebody to reprice, in my opinion, versus training somebody to source items from eBay to Amazon, right? So one of my best pieces of advice is to, well, first of all, keep in mind, you can move as slow or as fast as you want when hiring virtual assistants, okay? So start slow. People don't know, but you can hire a virtual assistant for 5 to 10 hours a week. Now, granted, if you are only hiring them 5 to 10 hours a week, they're probably working for somebody else, so you're not gonna have all their attention. They might leave you down the road, but start small, put 5-10 pounds on the bar, right? Hire a virtual assistant 5 to 10 hours a week. I use a website called Onlinejobs.PH to be able to hire virtual assistants in the Philippines. Now, how much are you gonna pay them? It can vary. I pay people on my team to reprice $3.50 an hour. I pay people to source for me around $4 or $5 an hour plus incentives. I've got somebody who helps me with all the back end stuff, opening cases, stranded inventory. I don't know what it comes out to per hour, but they're working like 40 hours a week and they get paid, I think, $600 or $700 a month, right? I have bookkeepers that are like $10 to $12 an hour in the Philippines. So the point is, I know I'm all over the place. You could pick something that's small, not super critical, and start building your muscle. Hire somebody, go on Onlinejobs.PH, put out a job post, and start training them. Now, again, in my presentation at Books and Beyond, which I'll be working on today as well because we're a couple weeks out, I talk about how, in order to hire somebody, whether it's a virtual assistant or someone, a physical employee, You have to know how to bake a cake. That's what I put in my presentation. You got to learn, like, if you're going to put out a cookbook, you got to learn how to bake a cake. Like, if you put out a cookbook and your cake sucks and you don't even know how to bake a cake, then what's going to happen? I mean, it's going to be a terrible book. People are going to bake the cakes. It's not going to work. You just wasted your time. You're not going to sell the book. You're not going to make money. Similar to if you hire a virtual assistant and you don't know how to reprice the right way and you train someone to reprice the wrong way, you're just amplifying bad. You're going to just have bad habits, right? So you're not going to achieve the goal that you want. What's the goal of hiring virtual assistants? Well, the goal is to stop doing things in your business. Like, for example, say you're worth $30, $40, $50 an hour. You've calculated how much profit you're making, how much time you're spending, and you're like, okay, in my business, I'm making X amount. I spend this much per week. I'm worth $50 an hour. If you have a model that is scalable, like eBay to Amazon, what the heck are you doing $5 an hour tasks, $7 an hour tasks? The reason you're doing it is because you're comfortable. You're scared. You have lack of knowledge. You haven't built up your muscle. So the goal of hiring virtual assistants is to essentially replace yourself so you can spend your time doing things that are $50 an hour and then eventually $70 an hour. Now I'm at a point where my time's worth like $200 to $300 to $400 an hour because I've outsourced so much. Anything I do in my business, it better be something that is super duper important. So the point of hiring virtual assistants is to build freedom. But when you hire a virtual assistant in the beginning, you have to understand, before you could even do it, you have to understand how to outsource it. So you've got to learn how to bake a cake, learn how to reprice, learn how to source. When you outsource it, you've got to create what are known as SOPs, right? These are documents, these are Loom videos, these are screen recordings, sharing with somebody, right? I don't know, this is like the sign language for sharing with somebody how to do it, how to replicate what you're doing to get a good result, right? So when you hire a virtual assistant in the beginning, you're actually moving slow in the beginning to go fast long term. You're going to go slow in the beginning because they're going to make mistakes. It takes time to train them. You've got to work with them, right? You've got to manage them. You've got to give them feedback, right? Similar to like if you're a personal trainer at the gym working out with somebody, someone might get injured. Someone might do the exercise wrong. Someone might be going like super duper fast and you got to help them to go slow, or this is how you do the exercise, not like this, right? So, silly examples, but you've got to go slow in the beginning to go fast long term. And what I mean by that, now in my business, I don't source anything. Why? Because I went slow for a while, training them, cloning myself, replicating all the knowledge in my head and giving it to somebody, right? But that takes time. You take 3 steps back to go 10 steps forward, 6, 12, 18 months down the road. A lot of you guys aren't willing to invest. And that's been one of the problems that I dealt with probably like 5 years ago. And before that, I was just making money. I was doing everything. I was a hustler. I was young. I'm still obviously young. I'm 38, but I'm not 28 anymore. And it was just do everything as fast as I possibly can. I'm the Energizer Bunny. I'm just going to do it. And then it was eventually like, why don't I take a step back right here and try to figure out what am I worth? Where do I want to go? If I keep doing this, am I going to get to where I really want to be? Am I going to have the freedom? Am I going to have the scale? I mean, maybe you're a freaking Gary Vaynerchuk and you want to work 1 million hours a day. I don't. I'm not in love with Amazon. Some of you guys are so in love with Amazon and showing off your sales, this and that. None of this stuff matters. At the end of the day, it's how much profit you're making. It's how much freedom you have. Are you happy, right? I'm not happy spending my whole goddamn day repricing, right? Not that it takes all day, but I'm not happy back in the day when I had to source for 6, 7, 8 hours. It was fun. It was cool. It was awesome to show it off and, show items coming to my house and, there's ego involved, right? But now I want my money to work for me. So how do you get your money to work for you instead of you physically going out and doing all the work? How do you get your business to work harder at making money than you making money? It's by looking into hiring virtual assistants, right? So it's a slow process. Onlinejobs.PH, awesome website. Put out a job post, right? Figure out what your time is worth. Write out all the tasks you're doing in your business. And I recommend doing the opposite of what I did. And you have to keep in mind, I'm gonna share some context here. When I started my Amazon business, my eBay to Amazon business in 2021, I didn't outsource the least critical thing. I didn't outsource like the lowest risk thing. I did the opposite. I outsourced what was eating my time the most, the hardest thing possible, because I had already had 3 or 4 years of experience working with virtual assistants. I had a Kindle publishing business. I had worked with virtual assistants for different accounting things and businesses and courses and YouTube. So like I had a good feel for working with virtual assistants. Of course, I didn't know what I didn't know about Amazon, but I had confidence. So I attacked sourcing first. I hired 2 virtual assistants. Well, I hired one that didn't work out. And then eventually I was like, I'm gonna hire 2 virtual assistants, have them both work together, train them both, because if one screws me over, I'll have another one. So I trained right out of the gate how to source, which is the hardest thing. If you don't have any experience at all, I'd start with the least critical thing, 5 to 10 hours a week, and build the muscle. I had already built up my virtual assistant, working with a team muscle, although I still had a lot of growth and I still do. So I did the opposite. I just want to be 100% transparent. But I know a lot of people, they don't have that experience. So that's why I say just start building up the muscle. Start with 5 to 10 hours a week. Learn how to communicate with a team, right? Learn how to pay them, right? And track their hours. I just have them track their hours on a Google Sheet. I pay them through PayPal. You know, you got to learn how to work with virtual assistants. You got to learn how to give them feedback. You got to learn how to not be a jerk, right? And I made that mistake in the past where I'd get so frustrated and upset and angry. And I see some of my friends who work with VAs and they really come down on them and beat them up. And you got to understand, a virtual assistant is just a freaking person like you and I. We have feelings. We have a family. We are trying to do the best to pay our bills and grow. And we all have dreams and goals. And, you know, in the past, this was a long time ago, I probably lose my temper a little bit from time to time, but I've really learned my lesson that you got to treat people good, right? You have to learn how to tell them great job, you know, good work. And then you have to learn how to like give them feedback in a constructive way without hurting their feelings. And this just takes a long time. That's why I keep going back to the muscle example, right? You don't put 100 pounds on the bar right to start. You start 5 pounds and then go to 10 and then 15, or else you're going to injure yourself. And the same with you hire a virtual assistant. If you just out the bat hire 5 virtual assistants, most people are going to fail. Now, granted, big shout out to my friend Aaron Worley, who's going to be speaking at the Books and Beyond conference, October 10th to the 12th. Get your ticket down below, by the way. He is a freaking madman. This guy hired like 5 virtual assistants right out of the gate. And now he's doing over $1 million per year in sales with eBay to Amazon, making multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit. But he's a rare case. He's not the average person. I was on a phone call with him the other day and I was like, you know, you're the 1%, dude. So, and I always have to make sure to give context when I share these things and I share these success stories that most people aren't. He's, you know, he was in the military. He's very disciplined. He's got a family. He's super duper hungry. A lot of people are just full of it. BS. They dabble. They don't go all in. Like Aaron Worley went all in like a freaking madman. I have so much respect for that guy. But anyways, you know, hiring virtual assistants, it's not easy. It takes time. It takes hard work. It takes an investment. It takes capital. It takes training. But, you know, if you're willing to take 3 or 4 steps back for 3 to 6 months to train them, you're literally cloning yourself, and then you could literally double, triple, quadruple your results and scale much faster, less stress, more happiness, more joy. And right now it might sound like, oh my God, like this is so scary. It's the scariest thing in the world. It's like, it's the same thing when you ride a bike in the beginning. You're like, how do people not freaking kill themselves on these things, right? Like, this thing's so dangerous. Then after a while, it's like you're not even like, you got your hands off the handlebars, right? And you're freaking doing backflips. And it's like, wow, it's the same thing. I know money's involved. It's scary. And you think I can't trust anybody. But I'm telling you, from firsthand experience, everything I say in this video is from firsthand experience. My virtual assistants now are better than me at sourcing. They're better at me than repricing. They're better at me. Matter of fact, I get people in my communities asking me like, how do you fix the high pricing errors and the stranded inventory and opening up cases and this and that? And if you're in my groups, a lot of times I tag my VAs. And it's not because I couldn't figure it out on my own. I could, but I don't do these things anymore, right? And I remember I was reading, I think it was Think and Grow Rich, but it was some book where Ford, I forget what was his name, the guy, Ford, who, you know, created the brand, the vehicles, Ford, he was in court way back in the day, and people were like attacking him, saying like Ford doesn't even know how to do this or do that with the car, this and that. And he said something along the lines of, I'm having a hard time articulating myself. He said something along the lines of like, a true genius isn't the one who does the work, but can get the work done, or something along the lines of, it's, you know, like if you want to be successful, if you want to get a result, you don't necessarily have to be the one who does it, but if you're resourceful and you know how to get other people or match up with like specialists or people who are really smart, that's how you can really fast track your results, right? So didn't articulate that very well, but maybe that makes sense in a way where what I'm trying to say here is like, you know, I'm running a 6-figure profit per year business, and some of these things I don't even know how to do anymore. In the beginning, you have to learn how to do it and train it, but eventually you kind of forget and you've got your team there. And yeah, so let me know if this helped at all, guys, if this maybe inspired you a little bit to maybe think about hiring virtual assistants. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. But with that being said, guys, I hope I get to see you at Books and Beyond. Much love. See you in the next video, and go build up that VA muscle, baby.